What's up, Lorehounds? It's Cooper inside the S2 Games booth. Actually, we're here again with Tim Shannon, a producer on Strife. So we just checked out what was announced at PAX, a single-player campaign for a MOBA.
Yes.
So what we just saw Bastion, and that's obviously, it said episode 2 coming soon. How often are we going to see the story coming out of this?
As fast as we can get it done. So we're hoping to have a long series of single-player games where we basically go through the backstory of the heroes and how they got into Strife. You got the first taste of this with the new player experience, getting Caprice's story and playing through that. And now we're trying to get a little bit more involved in story because there's a lot of tutorial elements to that. And have it be more narrative-driven, and you actually get a sense of who the people are, and you get to play a little adventure, and yeah.
Yeah, so we just played Bastion. We actually saw some interaction. There was an ally in there, so it was a little bit of Rook's story, I guess, at the same time, because we did see him come in and actually aid Bastion in his, rise to power or whatever you want to call it. Don't want to spoil it. You guys will play it. So is that really what we're going to see? We're going to see like multiple characters come into these and just how they all interact, and then why they end up fighting in Strife?
Yes, that's kind of the idea, is telling the story of how the people get in there. Rook is sort of an enigma, and so I imagine he will worm his way into all sorts of people's stories. Bastion himself, as you find out in it, is a special character within the lore, and so that's why he's running into so many people in it. If we do heroes at 1 episode and then others get 3, I mean, this is really sort of an organic process for us right now. We had the idea that we really wanted to do Bastion's story because he's such a central figure in the lore. And then from there, if at the end of it you get a chance to give us feedback on a survey, because we're really just interested in seeing how interested people are, what kind of information they want, who they're interested in seeing next, that kind of stuff.
Are you guys really waiting to see how the community reacts? Again, you just announced it. Is it actually live yet?
Yes, actually, as of yesterday morning, just like open beta.
Oh, okay. So, are you, is it partly you're going to see how the community reacts, and then maybe it'll be more aggressively done or less aggressively pushed?
Waiting for community reaction. I mean, we've made it a point with Strife to be very open to community response and try and tailor what we're doing towards what people in the community want. We're working on getting a lot more sort of long-form lore out there, and we've done a number of different kinds of lore. We're hoping that this is engaging people and that it piques their interest, and that people sort of get the bits of story here and then want to go and look at a lore website and want to get involved more in the story.
Yeah, I mean, we at Lorehound love it, obviously. We really dig the lore. We're glad you guys are making that single-player experience. It also gives you something completely new and fresh in a MOBA, right? Like, you never have a single-player experience. Maybe the tutorial, right? Maybe that's about all you get, but otherwise it's just bots. This is a really new, interesting use of the content and the engine, actually, even.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And the other thing that we're getting out of it right now is, you get a chance, especially with Bastion. Bastion may be unique in this circumstance, but you get a chance to sort of develop along with Bastion as you're going through it. And after a very sort of on-rails new player experience, stepping into the single-player experience gives people another chance where there's just a little less structure to sort of learn how to dodge skill shots and that kind of stuff and anticipate what enemies are doing.
It's not just single player, you're actually learning too.
Yeah, right, yeah. I mean, there's that to it, that element to it as well.
So do you think at some point these stories may get, that, as you say, is kind of a new player experience, is very easygoing in the beginning. I did die, actually, so it did get challenging, but do you see...
Everyone has died so far.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Thanks. That makes me feel better. Do you see some of them being like very difficult? With the more difficult heroes, just like a story that's really challenging?
I mean, that's something that we're definitely open to. This was very much our first foray into single-player design. We learn a lot every time we do something, and we've learned a lot doing this. And as we going forward, we're really excited to see where we can go and what new limits we can push, and possibly having difficulty levels or something like that.
Hardcore mode.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
So actually,
all the way back to the beginning if you die. Yeah.
And of course, you guys didn't miss the chance to make us have to grind more things. So there's a little badge when you finish the story.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So Strife is now in open beta. What is on the horizon outside from the single player? Do we have any kind of release date yet?
No comment. No. So one of the things that we've released in open beta is ranked play for people who want to get into ranked competition. That will be unlocked when we have enough people of the required account level in order to get it going. We actually have a lot of things that I personally am very excited about that we're just finishing up features on and fine-tuning and polishing that we don't have any announced dates for yet, but you know, if you're into Strife or you're sort of waiting on the side, keep your head up because there's a lot of cool things coming.
Well, we do feature it on Free to Play Friday and MOBA Monday, so we'll probably get into it a little more. The queue is now not nearly as long as it used to be, which is nice with the open beta, so it's much easier to get games. So thanks so much. We can't wait.
Great, yeah, thanks for stopping by.